You really didn't know I was this crazy after all this? You didn't think I was this crazy? Are you serious? Are you serious? You have got to be the craziest motherfucker in the world if you've been dealing with me this long and didn't think I was this crazy.
In today's video, we're going to watch a man and a woman having an argument. This is a man filming his ex-girlfriend when she's come to confront him, I think. I'll pause it as we go and I'll explain what's going on as I see it psychologically. I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird. I've lost it a little bit. Let's get started.
You ready? Just attacked me with an oil bottle.
Are you ready? Okay.
Jordan, what?
Watch. Get it closer so you see exactly what.
Stop it.
Okay, so that gives us some context. Evidently, she has assaulted him with that green can thing that she's holding, and in response, he's pulled out his camera and started filming her, which is absolutely the right thing to do. This is a good reminder that if you're ever the victim of domestic violence from a woman, document it. Find evidence, find witnesses, film it if you can. And when it comes to domestic violence incidents, police do not do their due diligence. It doesn't matter who began the physical altercation. It doesn't even matter if she's striking you and you don't strike her back. If she says to the police that you are physical with her, they're going to go on her word and you'll be the one punished. In this video, he says, you just attacked me with an oil bottle, and she doesn't deny it. And that's good. He's got solid evidence of that assault. Let's see what happens next.
I'm about to flat him. Then get the away from the door. I told you you're gonna do it, and I also told you I know where the you work, so you can prolong this now if you want to. You rather do it here or you rather do it there when you ain't got a motherfucking ride back.
So the man locks his car because he can see that this woman wants to damage it. Maybe she wants to open the door and like pour fuel on his seats or something like that. But she does not respond to that well. She gets all up in his face, really aggressive. She's like pointing his finger at him, and she says, you can either do it now or at work. Like, me destroying your stuff is inevitable, but it's going to be harder for you if you don't let me do it now, which puts him in an awkward position, because if he unlocks the door, is he in some way consenting to the damage that she's done? I don't think so, because she's using this terrorist tactic saying, you know, this is inevitable, so don't make it worse for yourself.
Play with me if you want to.
I didn't know you were this crazy.
Play with me if you want to. Play with me if you want to. He's choosing the play. Play with me if you want to.
Jordan, I can't
play
let you.
with me.
That was bone chilling. She's so calm. She's so threatening. She keeps repeating, play with me if you want to, you know, play with me, taunting him, sort of goading him into taking action. I'm guessing what happened is she saw a look of maybe anger on his face, and of course he'd be completely justified in being angry in response to what she's doing. And for all that you hear in society about women being terrified of male anger, you know, male anger is out of control, women need to be protected, this woman is clearly not scared of this man. She's aggressive. She's all up in his face. If anything, she's a bit excited. Like, did you hear that little laugh that she gave out? She's thrilled. She's like, yes, I'm going to get a reaction, you know, come on, test me, do it, you know, play with me. I don't know exactly what play with me translates to, but from the context here, and I might be wrong, but it just sounds to me as though she's inviting him to strike her. And so maybe I'm wrong. People don't tend to say, come play with me, I dare you in Australia. So if this is like some kind of American slang or something like that, that has a very specific meaning, let me know in the comments section. But it seems to me as though she's inviting him to hit her. If I'm right, then I would say that psychologically, she's probably got two motivations operating here. And the first one would be she wants some reaction from him to prove that she still has some significance in his psyche. Like, she's an important person to him. She can still generate an emotional response from him. You've probably heard the expression that the opposite of love is not hatred or anger. The opposite of love is indifference. And so the fact that she's really emotional, but he's, you know, speaking very monotone, he's staying very calm, that's probably infuriating to her. That's like destroying her world, because she's like, God, can't you see how upset I am? Why aren't you this upset? Don't I mean anything to you? And she wants to be validated. She wants to see him get upset and get angry to prove to herself that she's still significant to him. I think that her other motivation is just pure revenge. You know, she's clearly furious and she wants this man to suffer. And her original plan is to destroy his stuff, pour fuel over his car seats or whatever it is. But this would be way better for her. You know, if she can succeed in getting him to strike her, provided she doesn't care about the physical pain, that's like the ultimate jackpot for her, because if he, strikes her, then she's got instant victimhood status. Everyone's going to take her side. He's probably going to go to jail. And so if her desire is just to make him suffer as much as possible, the best outcome for her is for him to hit her, because his life will be just destroyed at that point. I think that's why she's so giddy with excitement, why she let out that little laugh. She seems thrilled about what's potentially about to occur. Come on, play with me, do it, because this is her plan almost coming to fruition. She can sense victories in sight. If she provokes him enough, then she's going to get what she wants. It's truly terrifying. She's so casual with regards to her own physical safety here. You can tell by the angle of the camera, this is a big, tall dude. He can probably inflict a lot of damage, but such is the strength of a woman's emotions sometimes. When she wants to destroy a man, she can be reduced emotionally to that single purpose, and all rationality just flies out the door. She just wants him vanquished. I have a story from my own life. It's a really embarrassing story. It's the story of Julia, this woman who was absolutely determined to make me suffer, to humiliate me. I'm going to release a video telling the story of Julia once I reach 2,500 supporters on Patreon. So if you want to see that video, you want to see how close I am to that goal, check out my Patreon.
I have not done anything to your car, Jordan.
I
haven't done anything to your car.
You threatened to. So in my mind, you're going to do it. So in my mind, you're going to do it. So in my mind, you're going to do it.
Came over to my place.
Yes, I came to your place. I'm about to f your up. I came to get my after you sent me the fucking text. Yes, that's what I came to f him and his up. Yes, that's what I came to do.
Okay, so that gives us a little bit more context. She says that he was going to damage her car. He sent some kind of threatening text, and so that's why she's come over in retaliation. And that's important. We don't know if that's true. We, haven't seen the text or anything so far. But if that's accurate, it's a good reminder of the fact that there's very rarely clean hands. It's unlikely that in a relationship dispute like this, that one person is 100% in the right and 100% the other person's in the wrong. But I would say that if that's true, that he has sent, a text threatening to destroy her stuff, she's gone about this the entire wrong way, because at that stage, after she receives the threat, she is a genuine victim and she has the moral high ground. But by acting like this, by retaliating and going to do the exact same thing to him, she's completely sunk to his level, and so she's squandered that opportunity. I would actually argue that she has sunk way lower than he has, because while he may have threatened to destroy her car, that's what she's saying, that's what she's claiming, in order for her to get to him, she had to drive in that exact car. And so she can see that her property is not damaged. And so to actually go out there and try and destroy his car, that is a disproportionate response, because you're responding to a threat with actual action. What I found most significant in what we just listened to there was when she said 3 times, "In my mind, you are going to do it." Why that's so concerning is that she didn't refer to the objective reality of the situation, the fact that her car was not damaged, it was completely intact. She was giving reference to her own subjective feelings, her own emotions, her own imaginings about what was going on, and then she was using that as a basis for this revenge action that she was taking. That's dangerous. I would advise men to always steer clear of women who have this particular trait, because you can't trust how they're going to respond. If you can't refer to objective reality to settle any disputes, if that's not the point of reference that you both look to, if she's just looking internal at how she's feeling, then anytime she feels hurt, whether or not you just triggered it, you caused it, or whether you did nothing at all, if she feels hurt and in her mind she believes that you're the cause for it, she's justified in taking any action against you that she wants.
Are you still want to record? Because if you pull the off, I know where you were. And that's just going to make me even more furious, because then I'm going to f your bike up.
See, that's just more terrorist threats, right? She's saying, if you pull away, I'm going to be even more angry. So don't you do it. I know where you work, so I'm going to mess your car up anyway. But I'm also going to mess up your bike because you've left. That's a bullying tactic. Like, you have to let me hurt you this much, because if you don't, I'm going to hurt you way more.
And I'm not. You're not
going to go to Nana's house and do nothing like that.
I know when Nana leaves. I know when she leaves for dialysis. She just be going to church in just a few. She won't even be there, will she? No, she won't. But guess who will? I will.
Jordan.
man, that's so dark. Okay, so it seems as though the bike that she's threatening is at his nana's house, who's on dialysis. That's really terrifying. She is, laughing. She's saying, well, I know where your nana lives. Her vibe at this point is really threatening. This is a dangerous situation. This man is not safe. What you're seeing here is a woman who has been reduced to a singular purpose. All she wants to do is hurt this man. All other considerations as to what is reasonable or what is rational have completely flown out the window. She just has tunnel vision. I want to destroy him. I think probably what's most telling and most concerning about this is that we're not witnessing some spontaneous argument here where it just escalated beyond her control and she let her emotions get away from her as a sort of accident. This was a planned encounter that she had. She consciously drove over to where he lives in order to mess up his car and to confront him. And you'd think, all right, well, in no time during the entire drive over there did she stop and consider, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe this is a disproportionate response. Maybe I'm not being rational. What it indicates is that any voice of reason that she had was too soft to rise above the noise of all of her emotions. At this point, the emotions are completely drowning everything else out. And that's why it's so terrifying, because you can't reason with somebody who is entirely driven by their emotions like this. And it's why this man is in a very dangerous situation.
You really didn't know I was this crazy after all? You didn't think I was this crazy? Are you serious? Are you serious? You have got to be the craziest motherfucker in the world if you've been dealing with me this long and didn't think I was this fucking crazy.
Oh, that's terrifying. Oh my gosh. All right, so there's two things come to mind when I see that. Okay, so the first is what she's doing is an argumentative tactic, if you can call it that. It's called deflection. So he quite rightly wants to talk about how crazy she's acting, how irrational she is. And quite right, the conversation should be about her behavior, but she doesn't want the focus on her at the moment. And so she deflects it. So instead of having a conversation about how crazy she is, she's trying to have a conversation about how it's weird that he hasn't realized how crazy she is. There's something wrong with him, that after all this time that he has spent with her, he hasn't understood how crazy she is. That needs to be the focus of the conversation. That's what she wants. It's a deflection. It's also a means for her to avoid responsibility, because what she's essentially saying is, you should know that I'm this crazy. After all this time that you've spent dealing with me, it should have been obvious. I've never hidden it. And so the fact that you've continued to interact with me, have a relationship, send texts or whatever, that's on you, because you should know that I'm this crazy. That's your responsibility. It never ceases to amaze and depress me, the lengths that the human mind will go to avoid responsibility for your own actions, especially when you're acting out of pain and hurt like this woman. Because in her mind, it's his responsibility, it's his fault, because he should know how crazy she is. He's to blame, at least according to her emotions. If you're one of those rare individuals who takes responsibility for your own actions, then you are very welcome here. You're exactly the kind of audience member I want to attract onto this channel. So subscribe to this channel. And if you've already subscribed, hit the like button and show your support.
Recording, yes. And I mean this.
She's clearly expecting a reaction from him, but quite rightly, he just stays silent, very calm and doesn't say anything. That is exactly the right thing to do, because why is she craving this reaction? Think of an emotional woman like a fire that can burn anything. Anything, it can be used as fuel. And so anything that he says to her, any reaction that he gives is just going to fuel her more. And that's why she's craving some, reaction from him. She wants to provoke that because she's got this emotional momentum rolling. She's down that tunnel. She's on her path and she wants things to continue to come up so that she can keep riding that wave of emotion. And he's denying that to her, which is the right strategy to employ. There's actually a name for that. It's called gray rock. And that's the name that psychologists give to people as advice on how to deal with people with narcissistic personality disorder. So when a narcissist is like going crazy, having a tantrum, getting really, really emotional, you should go gray rock. And that means no response, no words, no actions, nothing. They call it gray rock because that's the most boring, featureless thing that you can imagine. You know, it's just a gray rock. There's nothing interesting about it. But it's effective at de-escalating the situation because without a reaction, there's nothing for the other person to feed off of. And so you starve them, you kind of suffocate them, you don't give them any fuel. And that's, I mean, it's exactly what he should be doing. It's clearly upsetting her, but he should stay silent. He's doing really well. Strategies like Grey Rock are a really important part of your arsenal for moving through the world, interacting with emotional women. Every guy should have a set of tools for how to deal with situations like this. And if you don't have those tools, like you're constantly finding yourself in arguments with women or your girlfriend, you don't know how to respond, you need some advice, hit me up. Go on to Hey Hero, tell me about your situation, ask me some questions, and I'll send you a personalized video in response.
So, again.
Your phone went off.
Oh, I know my phone went off. I heard it. I bet you'd love to know who it was. In fact, let's see if it's somebody fun. Come on, so you can get this on camera too. Oh, I wish it was a man, but it's not.
That is exactly what I said. She's hoping to get a reaction from him. And so when she gets a text, she's hoping it's going to be a man, you know, some other guy hitting her up for, you know, sex or a relationship or whatever it is. The reason why she's acting that way, she's thrilled, she's like, God, I hope it's a man, is because she wants to provoke a jealous reaction from him. She's wanting that fuel for her emotions. And so she wants to provoke him like, yeah, you see how well I'm doing, see how other men are hitting me up, you know, doesn't that make you want to respond? That's what she's looking for. It's probably also her boasting and bragging, like, you know, we've broken up, but look how in demand I am, look how desirable I am, I've got other guys hitting me up. This whole situation is incredibly sad. They're obviously very, very hurt people, and I think that this woman's dangerous. I hope that the guy's okay.
I knew I had to go to work this morning.
Yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing. Just like you knew exactly what you were doing when you posted my picture
First
and
of all,
phone number all over
I did
site.
I did not
So yes, you
post it.
did.